Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, it is now acknowledged, are a force for perpetual embarrassment. Those the words of Tim Dillon. That is why Prince Harry, a man who would have been expected before his move stateside to be one of the faces of the FIFA, America, has been shut out because of his personal feud with footballing legend David Beckham.
Meghan Markle.
Yes, my favorite.
A force for good, or?
Well, I think a force for a perpetual embarrassment. Perpetual.
Are you happy to have her back in the United States?
We are not. We'd love to do a trade.
There was a time when Prince Harry and Meghan Markle seemed destined to stay at the center of the global spotlight. Following their royal wedding, many commentators described them as key figures in the future of the monarchy. With high-profile connections, worldwide recognition, and countless opportunities ahead, their influence appeared stronger than ever. But years later, the public conversation around the Sussexes looks very different. With the FIFA World Cup approaching in the United States, many expected Prince Harry to have some connection to one of the world's biggest sporting events. Instead, recent reports suggest he may not be part of the plans at all.
To me, what's very interesting about her was it seemed from the jump to me very transparent. That this is a woman who didn't want to fit into this family structure. She wanted to be a massive star. And I think she went about it all the wrong ways.
And the irony is that the royal family are, by definition, huge global stars.
That's right.
So you don't need to try that hard. You just have to do the basics.
That was her problem.
According to several royal commentators, that development could point to a broader challenge facing both Harry and Meghan. Some former relationships are said to have cooled over time. Certain well-known supporters appear focused on other priorities. Meanwhile, critics argue that years of public disputes and ongoing headlines have affected how the couple is viewed in some circles. At the center of the latest discussion is football legend David Beckham, once seen as friendly with Harry and Meghan, but now frequently associated with Prince William and Princess Catherine. So, what changed? How did Harry and Meghan go from being one of the most talked-about couples in the world to facing growing speculation that influential circles are keeping some distance? And is the reported FIFA situation really about football, or is it being viewed as a sign of a larger shift in their public standing?
And that perpetual embarrassment is in part why Prince Harry is being snubbed when it comes to the official World Cup events.
Let's get into it. For many royal watchers, the surprise isn't that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle still make headlines. It's the kind of headlines attracting attention today. According to recent reports discussed by royal commentators, Prince Harry has not been linked to plans surrounding the FIFA World Cup, despite the tournament taking place in the United States, where he and Meghan have built their life after stepping back from royal duties. Those reports quickly sparked discussion. Not long ago, many people would have assumed Harry would be connected to an event of this size. Before leaving his role as a working royal, he regularly attended major international events and was often viewed as one of the monarchy's most recognizable public figures. The FIFA World Cup is also expected to bring together an extraordinary list of guests.
Prince Harry has not been invited to the FIFA World Cup final. And insiders tell Naughty But Nice the reason is simple: David Beckham. The soccer icon is expected to be one of the biggest stars at the event, while Harry won't be there at all.
Celebrities, business leaders, sports icons, public figures, and members of royal families from around the world are expected to take part in events connected to the tournament. Yet, according to these reports, Harry's name has not been prominently mentioned. What makes the situation stand out even more is the comparison being made by commentators. While Harry is reportedly not involved, David Beckham is widely expected to play a visible role during the tournament. Beckham's connection to football is unquestioned. Over the years, he has remained one of the sport's most recognizable ambassadors, with influence that stretches far beyond the game itself. His presence at major football events is often considered a given. For some observers, though, this conversation goes beyond football.
This isn't about room on the guest list, an insider tells me. Football picked its prince years ago, and that prince is David Beckham. The snub carries extra sting because Harry and Meghan Markle were once close friends with David and Victoria Beckham.
Some commentators argue that the reported FIFA situation reflects a larger shift in how Meghan and Harry are viewed among high-profile social and professional circles. Once seen as one of the most sought-after couples in the world, they have increasingly found themselves surrounded by public debates, changing alliances, and questions about their long-term influence. Whether the FIFA reports are ultimately confirmed or not, the conversation has already brought an uncomfortable question back into the spotlight. Have Meghan and Harry lost some of the influence they once appeared to have? For a couple who once dominated headlines through global attention and celebrity connections, even the suggestion that they might not be linked to one of the world's biggest events marks a noticeable change in public perception. What's especially interesting is that many royal commentators believe the roots of this discussion go back several years, to the reported breakdown of Harry and Meghan's relationship with David and Victoria Beckham. At one stage, the two couples appeared to share a strong connection. David and Victoria Beckham were among the well-known guests at Harry and Meghan's royal wedding in 2018.
That relationship unraveled after the Sussexes allegedly accused the Beckhams of leaking stories to the British press. David never forgave it, says a source. The accusation destroyed the trust. Once that happened, there was no coming back. Since then, the Beckhams have moved firmly into Prince William's circle. David has publicly supported William's initiatives, while Princess Catherine is frequently seen wearing Victoria Beckham designs.
At the time, the Beckhams were widely viewed as some of the Sussexes' most influential celebrity associates, with both couples attracting enormous international attention. But according to several royal commentators, the relationship later cooled behind the scenes. Reports surfaced claiming that Meghan became concerned about stories regarding her appearing in the British media. According to those reports, questions were allegedly raised about how certain information was reaching journalists. No public evidence has been presented to support those claims. However, commentators have suggested that the situation itself may have placed significant strain on the relationship between the two couples. The reported tension gained even more attention during discussions surrounding the Invictus Games in Australia. According to royal biographer Angela Levin, David Beckham had planned a trip to Australia connected to football commitments and expected to meet Prince Harry during the visit. Beckham reportedly believed they would discuss future projects and spend some time together. However, Levin has claimed that the meeting did not take place. The reported outcome is said to have left Beckham disappointed. Commentators have suggested that Beckham may have viewed the situation negatively, especially considering the effort involved in arranging the trip. While neither Harry nor Beckham has publicly provided detailed accounts of the circumstances, the story has remained a frequent topic in royal commentary for years. For critics of the Sussexes, it became another example of a high-profile relationship that appeared to fade following disagreements, unmet expectations, or communication issues. Meanwhile, the Beckhams seem to move in a different direction.
The Beckhams chose William, and Harry knew exactly what that meant, says an insider. The relationship has been over for years. Now the World Cup final has become the ultimate symbol of that split.
Over time, David Beckham publicly supported several initiatives connected to Prince William. Victoria Beckham's fashion designs were also worn by Princess Catherine on multiple occasions, leading to increased speculation that the Beckhams had developed closer public ties with the Prince and Princess of Wales. Royal commentators have regularly highlighted that contrast. While William and Catherine continued to be linked publicly with the Beckhams, Harry and Meghan were no longer frequently associated with the celebrity couple. Whether the friendship changed because of misunderstandings, differing expectations, or other private factors remains uncertain. What does appear clear, however, is that a relationship once viewed as a valuable and influential connection is no longer seen in the same way. And that's exactly why David Beckham's reported role in World Cup-related events has generated so much discussion.
The event will be packed with celebrities, billionaires, athletes, and world leaders. Beckham is expected to be welcomed as one of the faces of the tournament. Harry, meanwhile, is on the outside looking in.
If one of football's most recognizable ambassadors remains publicly connected to senior royal figures on one side of the family, while Prince Harry is reportedly absent from the same conversation, some commentators believe the contrast is hard to overlook. For Harry and Meghan, the story is no longer just about a friendship that appears to have faded. To many observers, it has become part of a broader narrative in which former associates seem to have moved in different directions, while other relationships within royal circles continue to attract attention and support. Fairly or unfairly, that perception appears to be playing a growing role in how the couple is discussed today. What has made the reported FIFA situation stand out even more is the increasing comparison between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle on one side and Prince William and Princess Catherine on the other.
of the FIFA World Cup. And you would have thought, Angela, a few years ago that he would have been one of the natural celebrities alongside the likes of Lionel Messi and David Beckham, football legends who have made their home in the US, to become part of this flagship event. But the problem is, he seems to drag down events and brands now rather than provide them with any type of royal boost.
In recent years, royal commentators have frequently highlighted the different public paths taken by the two couples. While Harry and Meghan have often attracted headlines because of interviews, public statements, and ongoing debates, William and Catherine have largely focused on official appearances, charitable projects, and long-term initiatives linked to their royal responsibilities. One example often mentioned is Prince William's Earthshot Prize initiative, which has received support from various public figures and international organizations. The project has helped strengthen his image as a future monarch focused on innovation, environmental solutions, and global cooperation. At the same time, Princess Catherine remains one of the most widely discussed members of the royal family, regularly receiving positive attention for her public engagements and charitable efforts. Now, commentators have also pointed to the Beckhams as part of this evolving picture. David Beckham has publicly supported projects connected to Prince William, while Victoria Beckham's designs have been worn by Princess Catherine on several occasions.
And it was taking place in Australia, and David agreed that he would go and be with Harry and they would talk about it and decide what to do. Harry decided not to go because they were upset with Victoria Beckham because she didn't give Meghan the right clothes, you see.
While this does not suggest any personal conflict with Harry and Meghan, observers have noted that the Beckhams now appear more publicly linked to the Waleses than to the Sussexes. That contrast has become a major talking point. When Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties in 2020, many predicted they would build an extremely powerful global brand. They secured major deals and attracted huge public interest, with supporters believing they would flourish independently. Several years later, however, commentators say the picture appears more complicated. Some projects have received mixed responses, certain business relationships have ended, and discussions about the couple often focus as much on public debates surrounding them as on their achievements. Meanwhile, William and Catherine have continued with a more traditional public approach, staying closely connected to official duties and generally avoiding public disagreements. For royal watchers, that difference in approach may help explain why reports like the FIFA story continue to attract so much attention. Because for many observers, the issue isn't simply whether Prince Harry receives an invitation to a major football event, it's what that invitation, or the absence of one, could symbolize. Just a few years ago, Meghan and Harry were widely viewed as the monarchy's modern, celebrity-connected power couple.
David Beckham went all the way to Australia, and Harry said that he'd got no time to see him, he doesn't want to see him, he's too busy. So there was Harry sort of getting ready to be with a football match, a very important one, and he was left very rudely.
Today, some commentators believe that spotlight has shifted elsewhere. Whether people agree with that view or not, comparisons between the two royal couples continue to influence much of the public discussion surrounding the Sussexes. Supporters of Meghan and Harry, of course, would argue that the couple have faced years of intense criticism and an extraordinary level of public scrutiny. At the same time, even some critics acknowledge that media coverage alone may not explain why stories about changing relationships continue to attract attention. Instead, they point to what they see as a recurring pattern. Over the years, several people once believed to be closely connected to Meghan and Harry have gradually moved in different directions. The reported breakdown in their relationship with David and Victoria Beckham is often mentioned as one example. According to royal commentators, concerns surrounding private information and media reporting allegedly created tensions that eventually strained the friendship. Critics also argue that Harry and Meghan have often chosen to address personal disagreements publicly through interviews, documentaries, and Prince Harry's memoir. Supporters see those decisions as efforts to share their perspective. Critics, however, believe they have contributed to a public image centered on ongoing disputes and controversy.
And the fact that they lashed out and blamed Victoria and David Beckham was embarrassing, and it backfired on them so badly because, look, the Beckhams don't do that. The Beckhams don't like the media either. They don't leak stories on their celebrity mates, okay?
Terrible thing to say about somebody, isn't it, really, without any real good
Yeah.
evidence.
Well, if it's not
But they
true,
think they're so
and it wasn't
grand, you see.
true.
For some observers, that perception carries weight. Public figures often depend not only on popularity, but also on trust, professional relationships, and the ability to maintain strong connections behind the scenes. When controversies dominate headlines for long periods, people naturally begin to wonder how those relationships are affected. At the same time, Meghan and Harry have consistently maintained that stepping away from royal duties gave them greater independence and more control over their own story. Yet critics argue that the results have been mixed. Several of the couple's projects generated major attention, but not always in the way supporters may have expected. Announcements that initially attracted excitement were sometimes followed by criticism, negative coverage, or speculation about changing relationships with former associates. Whether those perceptions are completely fair remains a matter of debate. What is difficult to deny, however, is that the Sussexes continue to divide public opinion more than almost any other royal figures. To some people, Meghan and Harry are individuals who chose personal freedom and independence over traditional expectations. To others, they are public figures whose decisions have contributed to strained relationships and ongoing criticism.
Meghan feels so grand, like you just said. She looks very high, and Harry follows her, dunk, 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 behind her, and it's they're getting punished for all their bad things that they've been done for people and let people down and been rude. And nobody wants to see them. Nobody wants to know them. I mean, it's cringing, isn't it?
And that may be exactly why stories connected to events like the FIFA World Cup attract so much interest. Because the discussion quickly becomes about something larger than football. It becomes a conversation about influence, about reputation, about whether a couple once seen as capable of reshaping the public image of the monarchy now faces a very different challenge as they navigate life on the global stage. Fairly or unfairly, that question continues to follow Meghan and Harry wherever they go. And as long as reports about changing friendships and missed opportunities continue to surface, that conversation is unlikely to fade anytime soon. Adding another layer to the FIFA discussion is the possibility that Prince William could still appear at the tournament. According to royal commentators, William's attendance has not been ruled out, especially if England advances into the later stages of the competition. The Prince of Wales has maintained a long and visible connection to football.
It is a big event. And look, I know the FIFA World Cup is not a British event. Of course it's not. It's an international event, but it has been held in America, just like in the past he was at the heart of, for example, the London 2012 Olympics. But that was always alongside his brother, Prince William.
He has served as president of the Football Association and has regularly attended major matches involving the England national team. Because of that, many royal observers would not be surprised to see him linked to World Cup events if the circumstances line up. If that happens, the comparison with Prince Harry would quickly become a major talking point. After all, just over a decade ago, both brothers were often viewed as the modern faces of the royal family. They appeared together at major public events, worked on charitable initiatives, and were frequently praised for helping modernize the monarchy's public image. Today, however, their public paths look very different. William remains closely connected to the institution he was born into. As heir to the throne, his responsibilities continue to grow, and his international appearances are naturally tied to his future role as king. Harry, meanwhile, chose a very different direction. In 2020, he and Meghan stepped back from senior royal duties and moved to California in pursuit of greater independence and a different lifestyle. At the time, many believed the Sussexes would redefine what life outside the royal system could look like. Their global profile was massive, public interest was at an all-time high, and the opportunities ahead seemed almost endless. Yet the years that followed proved more complicated than many expected. While Harry and Meghan remained among the most discussed couples in the world, much of the attention focused on public debates, family tensions, and ongoing conversations about their image. Meanwhile, William and Catherine followed a different strategy.
What is going to be very interesting too, Angela, and this could be even more mortifying for Harry, there is the prospect at least of William traveling to the United States of America for the FIFA World Cup. However, it looks like he will only do so if the England team go particularly well.
Rather than addressing private matters publicly, they continued concentrating on official engagements, charitable efforts, and projects connected to their royal responsibilities. Supporters of the Sussexes argue that direct comparisons between the two couples are unfair. They point out that Harry and Meghan no longer serve in an official royal capacity and therefore operate under very different circumstances. Critics, however, view the situation differently. They argue that Harry and Meghan spent years building a public profile strongly associated with royal connections while also creating distance from the institution itself. As a result, stories that place William and Harry on opposite sides of major events often generate significant public interest. The FIFA World Cup may simply be the latest example. Because if Prince William ultimately attends one of football's biggest events while Prince Harry remains unconnected to the occasion despite living in the host country, many commentators believe it would highlight just how dramatically the brothers' public journeys have diverged over the years. Two brothers, two very different paths, and two completely different public journeys. Whether people relate more to William or Harry often comes down to personal perspective. But one thing is hard to deny. The image of the brothers standing side by side as the future of the monarchy feels like a distant memory. As the royal story continues to evolve, moments like this highlight just how much has changed over a relatively short period of time.
I mean, what I'm very interested with, Angela, though, is there going to be a visit for the 250th centenary celebrations of the USA? I know there had been hope for that, and it just seems the further we go on, the less likely that becomes.
Whether Prince Harry was ever expected to be involved in FIFA-related events or not, the discussion surrounding these reports reveals a great deal about how public perceptions of the Sussexes have shifted. Only a few years ago, Meghan and Harry were widely viewed as one of the most influential and recognizable couples in the world. They had royal status, celebrity connections, and the attention of audiences across the globe. Today, conversations about the pair often focus on changing relationships, former allies who have moved in different directions, and questions about how much influence they still hold. At the same time, Prince William and Princess Catherine appear to be strengthening their public positions both within the royal family and on the international stage. Of course, opinions about Meghan and Harry remain sharply divided. Some believe they have faced excessive criticism, while others argue that many of the challenges they face stem from their own choices. But if the FIFA discussion has highlighted anything, it's this. People continue paying close attention to the relationships surrounding the Sussexes and how those connections evolve over time. So, what do you think? Has this latest story been blown out of proportion, or does it reflect a larger change in how Meghan and Harry are viewed today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.